What's up, guys? Welcome to Astroneer. I'm Digmbot, and today we're going to be taking a look at this game. It's a pre-alpha, so note that this is not final. Everything you're seeing is subject to change. Now, I have a couple save files over here, but first I'm going to show you guys what it's like to start a new game of Astroneer. So here we are. We're picking our Astroneer, and we're going to launch. And we're going to head on down to this planet right here. So, as you can see, everything is kind of polygonal. It is procedurally generated. So, we're going to drop down right here. You'll notice a lot of pop in. Remember, guys, alpha. So, here we are on a new world in Astroneers. And we're going to hop out with our little astronaut here, and we can run around. We appear to be a Russian cosmonaut, actually. Now, you'll see two bars on the back of my backpack. There's this blue one right here. That's my oxygen. And there's these yellow ones. This is my power. So those both need to be recharged. Also, you notice that I have a blue line going from me to the pod. That's a tether. That tether is providing me with oxygen. If we break the tether, we start running out of oxygen, we suffocate, and we die. It's pretty simple. You also have a terrain modification tool. We can shape the terrain. We can lower it. We can raise it. And we're going to head right on over here. There are a variety of resources out in the game world. This one is called compounds. Compounds are going to be fairly important for us, so we're going to pick up as much of it as we can. See the resources collect in your backpack back there. We are out of power. You see that as they build up on the end of your terrain tool there, they turn into one full stack. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build ourselves a solar panel with that compounds. And that's automatically going to go right there and start helping us recharge our power. The next thing that we're going to do is come right down here and build tethers. There we go. Tethers are kind of a key part of the game. They allow us to tether ourselves to our ship. Imagine that. So at its heart, this is a exploration, survival, and construction game. Sound familiar? It's kind of been the thing for the past 4 or 5 years. This one has a few interesting twists, though, and we will get into those in a little bit. First off, let's talk about the performance. Now, this being an alpha, it runs okay. I haven't had a ton of problems. It does have pop-in. But, you know, in games like this, open world, kind of massive games, it's kind of the trade-off. You're going to have pop-in, or you're going to have a game that runs like absolute garbage and isn't open world. So, isn't open world? I don't know about that last statement. You're going to have a game that runs poorly. So, they have to find a way to balance that somewhere. I'm going to build some more tethers. Now, there's two things here that are interesting. One of the things that you'll find on the planet is this other resource, resin. Resin is your other basic construction resource. And I'll explain how that is in just a moment. So we're going to need to carry this one back to base. And we will talk about what resin is for. And you'll see that it's getting night. The day-night cycle is pretty short in the game. So resin and compound are going to be some of your most useful resources. Now, you'll have noticed something sticking out of this pod that says extend. And I'm going to want to extend my base this way, actually. So this is where resin comes in. Resin is needed to fuel the construction of your base, and this ship can expand. Now, I'm going to extend that one out there. And I'm going to, for the sake of showing you guys, go ahead and build this one out. Now, you want to be careful how you expand your base, obviously, so that you can use the necessary resources and build the things that you need without having cut yourself off by using up all your little arms. It can be a little tricky to get the backpack out of the way sometimes to actually build. So, now we're going to build a research unit. Now, you'll notice it says no power. Now, we can remedy that, but not until tomorrow, because all we have right now really is solar power. I suppose I could build a wind vane. grabbing stuff off your backpack also becomes a little bit of an issue occasionally. There. So now, tomorrow, that will actually begin storing power, and you'll see it appear in this little bank right here. Alright. This right here will provide us with power. There we go. Really, still not full? There we go. And this blue one over here, as you might imagine, will do the same for oxygen. That's more compound. The next thing I wanted to take a look at was this right here. So scattered across the planet, you'll find various shipwrecks, pieces of orbital debris. It always behooves you to go look inside. Why, you might ask? Well, because there are a variety of things in here that can be of use to you. So, just in this one alone, we have titanium, aluminum, more aluminum, some hydrazine, which is a fuel, and a seat for a rover. And there is also this right here. Now you can only carry one thing at once. However, it's really not that hard to just, as you walk, swap them out. And that way you can just keep moving them ahead of you and get them both back to base without having to take more than one trip. You can see obviously where the tether line comes in handy. I don't have to worry about my oxygen. I know that I'm gonna be just fine. Now this is actually quite handy because even though we have no power, we could plop this on here, and what we'll want to do is research it tomorrow. There we go. I'm going to explore out this way a little bit because I see something else over there that I want to take a look at. Early on in the game, you're going to be placing a lot of tethers. Ah, that's nice to have. So some more resin. Alright, we want to make some tethers. The music in this game is not half bad either. Some oxygen. However, this is very handy to have. This is a regenerating node. This thing will sit here and regenerate its resources. So that's extremely useful to have. Alright, so this is kind of the basics of the game. I want to show you guys the research real quick in a minute, and then we'll jump back into my other game and let you guys have a look at it, because I'm probably not going to save this one. I've got a much further advanced game. Since we have a minute. Oh, also, you can attach things to your ship, because... Alright, so the sun's getting ready to come up. It'll take just a minute to fill up this bin, but this is how you discover some alternate technologies, some advanced technologies, I should say, other things you can build, and there are a variety of different little workstations you can build once you expand your little colony out from your landing pod. There's a smelter, there is the research station that we have there, there's a vehicle bay, it's several different things. Oh, here comes the sun over the horizon, and in just a moment we should start receiving power, and yep, there it goes. You'll see those bars filling up. They fill up surprisingly quickly too. It doesn't take all that long. There are, of course, quicker ways to power your base up, and I'll show you guys those in just a minute. Now, there are also cave systems in the game. They can be fairly dangerous. They do have enemies of a sort in them. They're mostly environmental type enemies, like plants that release poisonous gases, things like that. But they are there, and they add an element of exploration and danger because a lot of the materials that you're going to need are actually down in those mines. Well, not mines, those caves. So, you know, if you need to go looking for lithium or something for a battery, it's probably down in a cave. Alright, so now that that's full, what we can do is click right here. It will extend, open the capsule. Apparently research looks like a little watermelon, and it researched a fuel condenser. Now, that being said, let's go back to the main menu, and let's look at a slightly more advanced game, now that we have covered the basics. Alright, so here we are at my other base, and you'll notice a lot of stuff. So we have a fuel condenser waiting to be built, a research station. There is a 3D printer over here that I've been using to build things. There is a smelter that I could use to break down ore I find. And then, perhaps most interesting of all to you guys, there is this. This is my little vehicle bay. And I can use it to build shuttles or rovers. There's also a truck that I don't have the recipe or blueprint for yet. And then there's this. So this is my rover with a bunch of storage attached to it. It runs off solar power. And I could have attached that other rover to it if I so chose. Vehicles in this game are a bit finicky. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's definitely one thing that could use a little work, but this is a portable tether for me as well. Ah, some aluminum. And some organic resources. I can just store that there. This is a cargo module with 4 storage modules added to it. So, I can drive this thing around and do a lot of exploring and not have to worry too much about a lot because, well, I've got power with me. I've got a fast means of communication. Nothing here? I am disappointed. Alright, let's go have a look at a cave system real quick. This drives very much like the Warthog in Halo. I'm using A and just the mouse. It's nice to be able to see your colony growing, see it looming on the horizon as it gets bigger and bigger as you head for home. Go ahead and hop out. Now that stuff will just stay there for me. Oops. Probably want to make some more tethers. I'll take some compound with me. So guys, I have wound my way down into a little bit of a cave. We're going to go have a look at it right now. It's just right over here. Most caves seem to be nice and gently sloped to allow for placement of tethers and for you to not fall to your horrible, horrible death as you walk down them. Now, I've built that. Now, I'm not actually sure what that is. But that is poison gas that those things are spitting at me. That is somehow seeking me out, and I don't like it. There's some hydrogen. We're just going to dig through this wall. So caves are not all that friendly, but they are very interesting. And as I said, this is where you get a lot of the resources that you're going to need. So there's definitely something to be said for coming and exploring them. It remains to be seen, you know, what they're going to add to allow you to deal with the dangers down here, or what I have just not even gotten to yet that's already in the game. Like I said, this is a first look at a early access game, so for example, here's like 3 or 4 things I've never seen before. Ow. So those are things that we can take back up to our base and research, and I think we probably will. Nope, nope. I don't... Can we dig under one of those things and make it stop that? We've got all this material to carry back, so let's go ahead and carry this stuff back, and I'll talk a little bit about my impressions of the game as we do. So this is actually a very interesting idea for a game. It's very fun. So far for alpha, well implemented as well. I enjoy this type of game as a rule. I like exploration. I like building a base. I got that stuck in a wall. It's just a genre that I really enjoy. And I got real burned out on Minecraft. I had great hopes for No Man's Sky. You know, I love Elite Dangerous. And this game kind of fills some of those holes that I really didn't get from No Man's Sky. Like, there's a building element, which I realize is now in No Man's Sky, but if you've played it, you know that it's an utter pain in the ass and isn't actually that fun. Likewise, I like the graphic style they've gone for with this game. It's simple, but it's not ugly. It's got personality, and I can get behind that with any game. You know, if you're going to have a game, make it your own, make it look unique, and they've definitely done that. We're going to have issues with this stuff rolling downhill, aren't we? I feel like I'm hurting cats right now. It has its bugs. It can be a little wonky trying to get places or trying to carry things, but like I said, it's an alpha, so it's going to be like that. But the thing that really struck me, both playing it on my own and streaming it, is that the core gameplay loop is really satisfying. You know, advancing, getting my first rover, and then figuring out that I could attach another rover chassis to that rover to create basically a space 18-wheeler. And then I could put a ton of storage on that and have this portable, well, 18-wheeler that I can ride around the surface of the planet in and harvest resin and compound and things to my heart's content was really, really cool. And that's the kind of thing that if you like that kind of thing, this game already has it. It already works very well. I've not encountered too many bugs. There's been a couple times where I've fallen through the world, but that was mainly because I was trying to dig a hole and escape from a windstorm, which was blowing giant rocks around that were threatening to kill me. But yeah, it's a very fun game. It shows a lot of polish for so early. I have high hopes, especially considering how receptive the dev team are to feedback and talking to players, acknowledging bug reports, and just generally being super helpful. I have very high hopes for the game, and I'm going to keep playing it, and probably keep playing it on stream, so definitely something to look forward to. Now let's see what happens to be in these. So we got habitats. Now that's new. Now I have a solar panel in the middle of this base providing power, so that's recharging everything extremely rapidly. Oh. Coal is extremely rare. Now I can run my generator. Yes, coal is very, very rare, but... And we got ourselves some copper, which actually I want for my fuel condenser, so... Progression loops, folks. Just in this one little instance, progression loops. Tons of stuff that I needed just for exploring in a cave. I have Now I can take this hydrogen fuel that I have over here, and I can put it in the fuel condenser. Just a nice gameplay loop already. It's an extremely fun game. You see, we're condensing fuel now. It's fantastic. Core gameplay loop is already polished and fun, and I'm having a blast with it. Before we go, I think we'll see about that habitat, because that sounds awesome, and maybe like it'll protect me from flying rocks during rock storms. And it only needs 2 compounds. Which I actually don't believe we have 2 compound, but I know where to get one real fast, so... Whoa. There's another little bug. Sometimes things snap around a little crazily. Let's go grab some compound real quick and see exactly what that habitat looks like. It looks like it goes on a spaceship, on a shuttle, which means I may be going to build a shuttle. Now, I do know, from what I've been told, and this is actually a good thing to touch on, that if you're not prepared, exploring in a shuttle can be very bad, because you can find yourself stranded without the resources to get back or really do much. It doesn't seem like very fun. However, you can go to other planets and mine them for resources, explore them, and then come back to your home base. Now, I hope that what they do is add in a whole lot of different planets, a whole lot of things to see and do and explore, and a great multiplayer element as well. This game screams for good multiplayer. This kind of game would be great to play in cooperative play. Building a base like this would just be fantastic, and I'm very sure that they'll do that. You have to be careful about falling too far, obviously. There we are. Now let's go see about building this space shuttle in this habitat. I've got a nice amount of stuff parked over here, so why don't we just see what this is all about. And we'll grab another fuel, condense another fuel canister while we do. So we need 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we can build this. There we go. You can see where we put fuel right there. And there's our habitat. And as I thought, that slots right on there, and then we're going to take hydrazine fuel and fuel this thing, and that's actually going to take quite a while to fill up if you see how much that did not fill it. So yes, fantastic loop already. I cannot wait to get this thing into space and explore some other planets after I get it fully prepped and ready to go. But hey guys, if you enjoyed the video and you want to pick up Astroneer, there's a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you really want to help me out, you can like, hit subscribe, and even follow me on Patreon or Facebook or Twitter, whichever one you want to, or all of them. That would be really sweet. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. My name is Digmbot. I'll see you next time.